In the next few minutes, I'm going to expose 12 protein shake brands hiding artificial sweeteners, chemical additives, and questionable ingredients behind their high-protein promises. Plus, I'll reveal the 5 brands that actually deliver clean nutrition without the toxic trade-offs. Stay until the end, because number 1 will completely change the way you shop the protein aisle. Let's start with what's sitting in your refrigerator right now. 12. Rockin Protein. Starting at number 12, Shamrock Farms Rockin Protein Builder might sound fun and energetic, but the ingredient panel tells a very different story. The vanilla flavor contains natural and artificial flavors, sucralose, and carrageenan, a thickening agent that has raised red flags among digestive health researchers for years. Carrageenan has been linked to gastrointestinal inflammation in numerous studies, and yet it keeps showing up in products marketed as healthy. What makes this particularly concerning for older adults is the inclusion of caramel color, a purely cosmetic additive used solely to make the shake look more appealing. You're not drinking that color because it's nutritious. You're drinking it because someone in a marketing department decided vanilla should look golden. The ingredient list also includes soluble corn fiber and sodium hexametaphosphate, a chemical emulsifier used to keep everything blended together. For a shake that's supposed to support your body, there's an awful lot in here that your body simply doesn't need and never asked for. 11. Alani Nu. At number 11, Alani Nu has exploded in popularity with fitness influencers and gym culture. But popularity doesn't equal purity. Their 30-gram protein shake in cookies and cream contains sugar, natural and artificial flavors, sucralose, and acetylsulfame potassium, 2 artificial sweeteners that many health-conscious consumers and researchers have raised questions about with long-term daily use. The ingredient panel also includes cellulose gel, cellulose gum, and sodium hexametaphosphate. That's a lot of chemical infrastructure for what's supposed to be a simple protein drink. If you're over 45 and reaching for a protein shake to maintain muscle mass or support recovery after a workout, you deserve better than a product built on synthetic sweeteners and industrial-grade stabilizers. The flashy branding and social media endorsements might appeal to a younger crowd, but when you turn that bottle around and actually read what's inside, the ingredient reality should concern everyone regardless of age. 10. Quest has built a massive following among low-carb dieters and fitness enthusiasts, but their chocolate protein shake deserves a much closer look before it earns a permanent spot in your shopping cart. The ingredient list includes sucralose, invert sugar, gellan gum, sodium polyphosphate, and trisodium phosphate. That last one is worth pausing on. Trisodium phosphate is a compound that shows up in both cleaning products and food processing. While the FDA allows it in food at regulated levels, many nutritionists question whether it belongs in something you drink daily for health purposes. The shake also contains vegetable oil and natural flavors, ingredients that add complexity and processing without adding meaningful nutrition. For anyone relying on Quest shakes as a regular dietary staple, the accumulation of these synthetic compounds over weeks and months of daily consumption raises legitimate questions about what you're really putting into your body each morning. 9. Carnation Breakfast Essentials. Carnation Breakfast Essentials carries decades of nostalgia for millions of American families. Many of us grew up watching our parents or grandparents stir that familiar powder into a glass of cold milk before rushing out the door. But the modern, ready-to-drink version of this beloved brand tells a troubling story. The high-protein nutritional drink lists water, glucose syrup, milk protein concentrate, sugar, and canola oil near the very front of the ingredient list. When sugar and oil appear before most other ingredients, that's a clear sign your protein shake is leaning more toward dessert than genuine nutrition. The product also contains carrageenan and stevia leaf extract. While stevia sounds natural and harmless, its presence alongside glucose syrup and added sugar means this shake is being sweetened from multiple directions simultaneously. For older adults watching their blood sugar levels, managing their weight, or simply trying to make smart choices at the grocery store, that layered sweetening strategy deserves serious scrutiny. The brand you remember from childhood has changed, and not necessarily for the better. 8. Fairlife markets itself as premium protein nutrition, and the Coca-Cola corporate backing gives it massive shelf presence in every major grocery chain in the country. But premium branding doesn't always mean premium ingredients. The Core Power chocolate flavor lists carrageenan, cellulose gel, cellulose gum, acesulfame potassium, and sucralose. That's 2 artificial sweeteners and 3 texture-modifying additives packed into a single bottle. The Fairlife Nutrition Plan line isn't much better either, listing carrageenan, acesulfame potassium, sucralose, and maltodextrin on its panel. Maltodextrin is a heavily processed carbohydrate that can spike blood sugar faster than table sugar, something particularly worrying for anyone managing diabetes or living with pre-diabetic conditions. For a brand that positions itself a tier above the competition and charges premium prices to match, the ingredient reality puts Fairlife right in the thick of the same problems, plaguing every other mass-produced shake on this list. Higher price doesn't mean higher standards. 7. SlimFast. SlimFast has been a household name in diet culture for decades, a brand that's been sitting on American kitchen counters since the late 1980s. But longevity in the marketplace doesn't mean quality in the bottle. Their coffeehouse shakes contain maltodextrin, natural and artificial flavors, cellulose gel, cellulose gum, and mono and diglycerides. The Essentials line is even more concerning, listing sucralose, acesulfame potassium, carrageenan, sodium hexametaphosphate, and potassium phosphate on the label. That's a chemical cocktail dressed up as a weight management tool. For anyone who remembers reaching for SlimFast in the 90s, hoping to drop a few pounds before summer, it's worth asking whether those shakes were ever really designed with your long-term health as the primary goal. The sheer volume of synthetic additives and chemical stabilizers suggests the priority was always shelf stability, taste engineering, and profit margins rather than clean, honest nutrition. 6. Atkins. At number 6, the Atkins brand has been synonymous with low-carb living for well over 20 years. Millions of Americans trusted the Atkins philosophy to help them take control of their weight and their health. But their strong milk chocolate 30-gram protein shake reveals some uncomfortable truths about where that brand has ended up. The ingredient list includes natural and artificial flavors, sucralose, carrageenan, and sodium hexametaphosphate. It also contains gellan gum and lecithin, additives that keep the texture smooth and uniform, but add chemical complexity to every single sip. For older adults who turned to Atkins products because they genuinely believed in the low-carb approach, this ingredient panel represents something of a betrayal. A shake designed specifically for health-conscious consumers shouldn't require this many synthetic interventions to hold together in a bottle. The carb count might be impressively low, but the additive count is anything but. 5. Muscle milk. Approaching our top 5 worst offenders, Muscle Milk has been a gym bag staple for years and a name that practically everyone in the fitness world recognizes. But the genuine zero-sugar vanilla creme flavor raises serious questions when you actually examine what's inside. The ingredient panel lists natural and artificial flavor, sodium polyphosphates, carrageenan, sucralose, and acesulfame potassium. The product also includes soluble corn fiber and high oleic sunflower oil. Sunflower oil in a protein shake might sound harmless at first glance, but its presence reflects a formulation philosophy focused on mouthfeel, production costs, and extended shelf life rather than nutritional integrity. For anyone over 45 using muscle milk to support aging muscles, maintain bone health, or recover after physical activity, the combination of artificial sweeteners, chemical stabilizers, and processed industrial oils should give you serious pause. Your muscles need protein. They don't need a chemistry experiment disguised as nutrition. 4. Glucerna. At number 4, Glucerna holds a unique and deeply sensitive position in the market because it's specifically designed and marketed for people managing diabetes and blood sugar concerns. That clinical positioning makes its ingredient list all the more troubling when you actually read it. The Protein Smart Shake contains fructose, natural and artificial flavor, acesulfame potassium, sucralose, and carrageenan. It also includes cellulose gel and cellulose gum as texture modifiers. A product designed explicitly for people with blood sugar concerns containing fructose alongside 2 artificial sweeteners sends a deeply mixed and confusing message. Many older adults trust Glucerna because their doctors, pharmacists, or diabetes educators recommended it, and that professional endorsement makes ingredient transparency even more critical. When a shake marketed directly to a vulnerable population relies on this many synthetic compounds and processed sweeteners, consumers and their caregivers have every right to demand better and to ask whether cleaner options exist. 3. Boost claiming the number 3 spot. Boost is another brand that millions of older Americans rely on every single day for basic nutritional support. It's the shake that sits on nursing home trays, in hospital recovery rooms, and on the kitchen counters of people our parents and grandparents' age. The Glucose Control Max variety lists carrageenan, sucralose, natural and artificial flavor, and acesulfame potassium. The same ingredient panel also includes mono and diglycerides and sodium hexametaphosphate. For a shake that's often recommended in clinical settings, purchased by caregivers for aging family members, and trusted implicitly by millions of families across the country, that ingredient list carries enormous weight and responsibility. Mono and diglycerides are emulsifiers derived from heavily processed fats, and sodium hexametaphosphate is a chemical sequestrant used throughout the industrial food system. When you're handing this shake to someone you love because you believe it's helping them stay strong and nourished, you deserve complete honesty about what's inside that bottle, and what's inside it right now should concern you. 2. Ensure, coming in at number 2. Ensure is arguably the most trusted and recognized name in nutritional shakes anywhere in the world, recommended by doctors, hospitals, and rehabilitation facilities nationwide for decades. But trust should never be a substitute for scrutiny. Ensure Max Protein lists carrageenan, acesulfame potassium, and sucralose on its ingredient panel. Some flavors go even further, including natural and artificial flavor along with Red 3, a synthetic food dye that has faced persistent and ongoing regulatory debate over its potential health effects. For older adults recovering from surgery, managing unintentional weight loss, battling illness, or simply trying to maintain adequate nutrition as appetite fades with age, Ensure is often the very first product they reach for or the first one their family buys them. That's precisely why its ingredient list matters so profoundly. When a product carries this level of institutional trust and medical authority behind its name, every single additive deserves honest examination. Red dye in a health shake isn't nutrition, it's marketing, plain and simple. 1. Premier Protein. Taking the #1 spot as the worst protein shake brand you can buy, Premier Protein combines massive consumer popularity with a deeply concerning ingredient profile and a documented safety record that should alarm every single person watching this video. The vanilla flavor lists natural and artificial flavors, sucralose, acesulfame potassium, carrageenan, and multiple phosphate additives on its ingredient panel. Every red flag ingredient we've discussed throughout this entire list shows up together in a single Premier Protein bottle. But what truly earns Premier Protein the top spot is something far more serious than additives. In 2022, the FDA issued a significant recall through manufacturer Lyons Magnus, citing potential microbial contamination in products. The recall specifically included Premier Protein and referenced the possible presence of Chronobacter sakazaki and Clostridium botulinum, dangerous organisms that pose genuine and severe health risks, particularly for older adults, immunocompromised individuals, and anyone with a weakened digestive system. When the protein shake you're drinking every morning for your health carries a documented contamination history from a federal recall on top of an ingredient list loaded with artificial sweeteners and chemical additives, it's time to put that bottle down permanently and find something that truly deserves your trust. After exposing all of those chemical offenders, here's the good news you've been waiting for. Not every protein shake on the market is hiding behind synthetic sweeteners and industrial additives. These 5 brands prove that protein shakes can absolutely be made the right way, with clean ingredients, honest, transparent labels, and formulas that actually respect your body and your long-term health. 5. Oikos. Starting our safe list at number 5, Oikos brings its decades-long yogurt-making reputation into the protein shake space with genuinely impressive results. Their protein shakes deliver 30 grams of complete protein, along with 5 grams of prebiotic fiber for gut health, and just 1 gram of sugar per serving. What makes Oikos stand out from everything we've discussed today is what's absent from the label. The brand states clearly that its protein shakes contain no artificial sweeteners, a commitment that immediately separates it from nearly every single brand on our avoid list. For older adults who want substantial, complete protein without the synthetic sweetener load that dominates this market, Oikos offers a clean, straightforward solution backed by a respected dairy brand with years of consistent quality behind it. Sometimes the best nutrition comes from companies that already understand how to work with real, whole ingredients rather than engineering flavor through chemistry. 4. REBBL. At number 4, REBBL takes a completely different and refreshing approach to protein shakes, and the results speak for themselves. Their 20-gram protein line is labeled non-GMO, vegan, soy-free, gluten-free, and free of artificial flavors. The vanilla protein shake is built around organic coconut milk, organic pea protein, organic coconut sugar, vanilla extract, stevia extract, and monk fruit extract. Read that ingredient list one more time. You can pronounce every single word on it. You could find every single ingredient in a well-stocked grocery store or farmer's market. That's what clean nutrition actually looks like when a company commits to doing it right. For health-conscious adults who want plant-based protein without compromising on ingredient purity or transparency, REBBL delivers genuine peace of mind with every single bottle. When the ingredient panel reads like a recipe you could make in your own kitchen instead of a chemical manifest from a laboratory, you know you're holding something worth drinking. 3. Koia claiming the number 3 spot. Koia represents the gold standard of plant-based protein shakes in today's market. Their products are vegan, non-GMO, gluten-free, and made entirely without artificial ingredients of any kind. The Koia Elite Vanilla lists pea protein, chicory root fiber, organic cane sugar, vanilla extract, and monk fruit extract. That's the entire ingredient foundation. With 32 grams of protein and only 4 grams of total sugar per bottle, Koia proves beyond any doubt that you don't need artificial sweeteners or chemical stabilizers to deliver serious, muscle-supporting protein. The simplicity of this ingredient list is its greatest strength. For anyone who has spent years flipping bottles in grocery store aisles and feeling defeated by the complexity and length of what's listed on the back, Koia offers something genuinely rare in this industry. A protein shake you can trust completely, built entirely on ingredients your grandmother would recognize. 2. OWYN. At number 2, OWYN stands for only what you need, and they absolutely mean it. Their Pro Elite protein shakes deliver an impressive 32 grams of protein with 0 sugar and absolutely no artificial sweeteners of any kind. But OWYN goes even further than most clean brands by also eliminating sugar alcohols entirely, which many competitors quietly use as sweetener substitutes while still claiming clean labels. What truly sets OWYN apart in this crowded market is their allergen commitment. The shakes are independently tested and validated as free from all top 9 allergens, making them one of the safest and most inclusive protein options available for people with food sensitivities, allergies, or compromised immune systems. For older adults managing multiple dietary restrictions, navigating food sensitivities that develop later in life, or anyone who simply wants powerful, clean protein. Without compromise, OWYN delivers exactly what its name promises. Nothing extra, nothing artificial, nothing hidden, just honest nutrition. So Orgain, taking the top spot as the absolute best protein shake you can buy, Orgain represents everything a protein shake should be and proves that the industry's reliance on chemical additives was never necessary in the first place. Their 20-gram clean protein shakes use grass-fed milk protein, delivering genuinely clean nutrition in just 130 calories, with only 3 grams of sugar per serving. But what truly earns Orgain the #1 position on this list is their unwavering, clearly stated commitment to purity. The brand declares on every bottle, no artificial colors, no artificial sweeteners, no artificial flavors, no artificial preservatives, and absolutely no carrageenan. When you've spent the last 20 minutes learning about every chemical additive, synthetic sweetener, and industrial stabilizer hiding inside America's most popular protein shakes, that short, simple list of commitments means absolutely everything. Orgain proves conclusively that you don't need sucralose, acsulfame potassium, sodium hexametaphosphate, or any other synthetic compound to make a protein shake that tastes good and genuinely supports your health. This is what clean protein looks like. Simple, honest, and made with ingredients you can actually trust. There you have it. 12 protein shake brands loaded with artificial sweeteners, chemical additives, and questionable ingredients, plus 5 that actually honor what nutrition should be. Before your next grocery run, remember this. Flip the bottle, read the full ingredient list, and choose brands that keep it simple, keep it clean, and keep your health as the real priority. If this changed the way you think about protein shakes, hit that like button, drop a comment telling me which brand surprised you most, and share this with everyone who deserves to know what they're really drinking. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss content protecting your health and exposing the truth. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.